Good morning everyone, and welcome back to the Runpreneur vlog, where we discuss all things entrepreneurship and running. It is a pretty grim morning today. It's been raining overnight and it's still raining now, so it's wet and cold. Not my favourite running conditions by any stretch. So it's Monday motivation today, where we discuss all things kind of productivity, motivation, that type of area. And today's topic is a question by Jonathan Evans from the Facebook Runpreneur Community group, whereby the question is how do you find the time to pursue all of your ideas? So remember, if you like this video, please give it a like and a subscribe, and let's get started. So today's question is, how do you find the time to pursue all of your ideas? That was by Jonathan Evans from the Facebook Runpreneur group. Okay, so this is a really good question, and something that so many people get wrong. I've been very guilty of it in the past as well. It's because lots of entrepreneurs, generally speaking, if you've not done wealth dynamics before, have a look at it. It's personality profiling for entrepreneurs, and basically there's 9 different roles that you can take on, and you have a primary, a secondary, and a kind of tertiary role, which dictates the type of entrepreneur you are. And having worked with 200 plus entrepreneurs in my previous business, systems and outsourcing, it was pretty clear that a significant proportion of entrepreneurs, I mean the clear majority, are creative or relationship building people. So generally speaking, without going into detail on all the individual 9 roles, they're split into 4 quadrants. So you've got kind of creative people at the top, you've got relationship building people on the right hand side, you've got detail orientated people on the left hand side, and you've got kind of sensory empathy type people on the bottom. And the vast majority of entrepreneurs sat somewhere between creativity at the top and relationship building on the right hand side, which are obviously very key criteria for being an entrepreneur, is problem solving, and creative people solve problems. But if you haven't got that creativity, you find people who can solve those problems for you and you align yourself with them. So it makes sense to a degree. But interestingly, I am a very much a detail focused person on the left hand side, and I've managed to succeed in my own right. And so there's no one size fits all here. You can do it, but what I'm trying to say is that most entrepreneurs that I experienced are either creative or relationship building people. So if you're one of the creative people, you'll probably struggle with this more than many, pure and simply because you'll have so many ideas that will be whirring through your mind, so many things you want to solve, so many things you want to introduce into your business, and you'll just find that you'll just be completely overwhelmed, and you'll almost kind of procrastinate because you've got so much going through your mind you won't know where to start. So this is where prioritisation becomes so important, and I've talked about planning on numerous episodes, and I can continue to do so because it's such an important one. One of my favourite quotes is from Abraham Lincoln. I think it was Abraham Lincoln. It definitely was Abraham Lincoln. He said, if you give me 6 hours to chop down a tree, I'll spend 4 hours sharpening my axe. So basically 2 out of 3 ratio on planning. Okay, so having all these ideas is part of the planning process, but you need to make sure you process them and put them into some kind of prioritisation metrics, so that A, they're not forgotten, but B, you only work on the top priorities at a given time. And that's where the next planning book that I kind of studied gets introduced, which is the 12-week year. And I'm not going to go into great detail on this now, but ultimately you have in simplistic terms, you have a yearly goal. Okay, what's the goal for the end of the year? And you might have 3 to 7 targets, no more than that. Any more than that is way too much. And then you're going to break those down into quarterly sections. Okay, so for the next 12 weeks, what are the 3 to 7 goals that you want to achieve? Okay, that's achievable and manageable. And then you can even break that down into weekly chunks. Okay, so But the idea here is, the big point I'm trying to make here is no more than 3 to 7 targets, goals, milestones, whatever you call them, at any given time. So if you have 25 different ideas, then you're not going to be able to introduce those into your business, because one, you've got to service what you already do in your business, and B, so that's going to take up some of your goals and milestone quota, and two, you just haven't got enough quota to take on 25 new opportunities. So you might, generally speaking, you might introduce one or no more than one or two in a given quarter. Okay, so really, really important to understand that. And then number two is prioritisation of your work. So it's all good and well prioritisation of the opportunity or the business, but then you have to prioritise the work as well. And I use a couple of ways I do this. I've used Eisenhower's prioritisation matrix, which is, you know, important, urgent, important, not urgent, not important, urgent, and not important, not urgent. Okay, in that order. And anything that's important, urgent is stuff that you focus on. Important, not urgent, you'd schedule out or outsource to others. If it's not important, urgent, again, you delegate it off. And if it's not important, not urgent, you just delete it. And that will clear your mind of a lot of the workload associated with this. But the other route I do as well is I have regular meetings with teams that are working on specific projects and goals. Okay, so this is a really cool way of doing things. If you've got 7 projects you're working on, you know, have 7 weekly meetings or whatever, however often the frequency is deemed necessary, and then you meet with those people and you create a project and you have project tasks. Okay, now project tasks take priority over anything else, pure and simply because it's linked to a goal that you're trying to achieve over a period of time. So that works really, really nicely, and that's something that I'm doing now, which is working to great effect. But you just do need to get the balance right, because you can end up spending too much time in meetings if you do too many meetings. So you need to work out what the frequency is going to be needed from your perspective. Just going to turn around here. So that's something that I'm using to great effect at the moment. So yeah, so hopefully that gives you a really good starting point for doing this. But if I was going to summarise this episode, it's quite a short one today, but hopefully I've answered the question on how I would do it, is that the vast majority of entrepreneurs are creative people. Creative people have lots of ideas. So part one is you need to capture all your ideas, so you need to log them somewhere. And I would generally review my ideas once every 12 weeks in a planning week, which I'd then determine which are the important ones. I'd prioritise them in terms of what I'm going to introduce into my business first. Okay, so prioritisation is key in all of this. I talked to you about kind of different projects, the 3 to 7, but even with the 3 to 7 projects you're working on, or goals, you have to prioritise them in order. Everything has to have a priority, which gives a set of rules to everybody when they look at their daily work, what they focus on first. So number 2 is, number 1 is capture your ideas. Number 2 is prioritise them. And then number 3 is only work on 3 to 7 projects or goals at any given time. Never any more. If you do more, you'll get overwhelmed and you won't succeed. So it's really, really important you understand that. 3 to 7 max. 4, bring teams of people around you to achieve more in less time. Okay, really, really important there. So bringing people in, you'll get ideas turned into opportunities a lot quicker, because the next level of this is when you have your 3 to 7 projects and goals and targets, but they're different to kind of lower level teams in your world. And what I mean by that is that you can then potentially take on more ideas for implementation at any given time, because you can delegate the responsibility to one of your teams to bring that idea to reality, and you are not actually involved. But this is a little bit further down the line, so you need to be more systemised and more outsourced as a business to be able to do that. But stage 1 is going to stick at yourself having control. Stage 2 is going to be letting go more, letting your teams kind of make these ideas a reality, which is also super cool. So I know this has been a bit waffly, but I'm getting blown away here and the rain is driving into my face, so apologies for that. But hopefully you got the gist of it, and hopefully there's been some value in this episode that's going to help people. So I hope that's the case. And as always, you know, if you like this video, please make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel where the full-length episodes are in full-length version, and they're catalogued nice and neatly by playlist, so you can tap in and out of this content on a intermittent basis. Please make sure you join the Facebook Runpreneur group as well, whereby all my free resources to this vlog are hosted. And the first one I've just introduced is my 70-step process to content, social media repurposing, reformatting and optimization process that we implement for this vlog. So if you like what I'm doing here and you want to do similar, check out my free checklist, which I hope you find useful. And if this isn't relevant to you, no problem at all, just unfollow. I don't want to be cluttering up people's social feeds unnecessarily. And all that's left to say is that the Runpreneur vlog was set up to help entrepreneurs, business owners overcome the emotions of stress, anxiety and overwhelm by using exercise, and in my case running, as a mechanism to relieve these pressures and thrive under them, as opposed to kind of breaking under them. And it can often be the difference between success and failure, how well an entrepreneur deals with these emotions. And the ones that do it well have a mechanism to manage and control the emotions, which keeps them in control, keeps them clear-headed, keeps them focused, and means they can go on to bigger and better things. The ones that don't, pressure builds and builds and builds. Entrepreneurs kind of freeze, bury their heads in the sand, and then one of two things happens. It's normally either the entrepreneur breaks or the business breaks, and unfortunately either or is often terminal to the likelihood of your business lasting the test of time. So we need to avoid that if we can. And I've been there before, okay? So I've lost multiple businesses because of these emotions. I've lost business partnerships because of these emotions. I've been in some of the darkest places in my life because of these emotions. And it's only recently I found this new way of dealing with these emotions that I've been able to take on more work than ever before. By choice, I might add. I don't have to take this stuff on, but I'm excited, I'm enjoying it, and it's made a huge difference to my life. And I always said that if this vlog can save just one entrepreneur or one business, then it's been 1,000,000% worthwhile. I'll continue to doing it to strive to achieve that goal. And my pledge is that so many entrepreneurs out there will struggle with entrepreneurial pride, but they'll bottle everything up, they freeze, they don't want to talk about it. And sometimes it's easier talking to strangers than nearest and dearest. So I've offered out my services before, that it's no catch here at all. If you are one of these entrepreneurs struggling with these emotions, drop me a message, we'll arrange a call. No catch, no sale, no email address even. Okay, I just want to try and give you a little bit of a helping hand to get you back onto the pathway to success. And if I do that, then my job has been done, and done well. So that's pretty much it for me today. All that's left to say is please remember, if you like this video, give it a subscribe and a like. If you want to see more similar content, please check out the playlists tab, where all the content is nicely ordered by topic, so hopefully there'll be some relevant subjects for you there. And as always, I'll end with stay positive, stay happy, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.